Namaskaram. We are live. Welcome. Namaskaram, Karthik ji, Uma ji, Namaskaram, Vincent ji, Namaskaram. And Namaskaram to all the participants, all the viewers watching on YouTube. There are no participants. This is not a session. This is not a class. This is a completely unstructured live event. This I've named it Everything Under the Sun because in the last two sessions on the last two Ask Me Anything sessions on Instagram, the questions varied from a range of topics. So I thought, why not have a free-flowing session with everybody, all the subscribers, all the viewers, all the patrons of the Sanskrit channel. Right now, this is happening on Crowdcast, of course, our official, for now, live streaming platform. And this is being streamed from Crowdcast to YouTube. So if you guys want to join me live, have conversations with me on YouTube, on video, one-to-one, you'll have to come to Crowdcast. And because the first few hundred people can use this link. Of course, patrons will get first say, of course, Karthik ji, Uma ji, Vincent ji, and there are more people. Who else is here? Gonzalo ji, namaskaram, and Vittala. It's a new person, Vittala ji, namaskaram, and Tarun ji are regular. Namaskaram, everyone. Welcome. All right. Anybody who wants to join us on Crowdcast can use that link that I put on YouTube chat window. I'm pinning that link. And the password for this session is Mitra, M-I-T-R-A. For the first session, I went with Aditya, the first name of Surya. And this is Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. And we're having it on Sundays. And the title is also Everything Under the Sun. So, yes. Is the audio good? Somebody is saying echo. Chakshuji is saying yeah, echo. Is there an echo? Or is the audio good? I see there are questions already. We'll come to questions, guys. We have some time. On Crowdcast, the audio seems good. On YouTube, is the audio good? Or is there an echo? Chakshuji, probably you have two tabs open or something. All right, you can fix it on your side. All right. Shubha Sayam Sarvebhyaha. Namaskaracha. So, yes. Oh, Krishna Kanji also is saying there's a little echo. Echo? Few people are saying echo. What could be an issue? No echo. Diksha ji says no echo. There are no problems on Crowdcast. On YouTube, are there two live streams going on simultaneously by any chance? No. Guys, maybe refresh your browser, close your browser and start it again. And I put 10 seconds delay on comment section on YouTube, but still there are so many messages going on. All right. So the first question I'll take is from Rishiji on Crowdcast. So to attend Vak-Shuddhi, the September batch of Vak-Shuddhi is now open. And we just had a course walkthrough, the pre-launch live stream yesterday evening on Saturdays. And of course, Vak-Shuddhi has live streams, the session live streams on Saturday evenings at 8:30 p.m. There's still some time to register. Like the next live stream, live interaction on Vak-Shuddhi is going to be on the next Saturday, just coming up at 8:30 p.m. So until then, if you can go through week one content, so the registrations are still open. We had much fewer registrations for this batch, the sixth batch. Probably everybody thought the fifth batch was the last. Even I thought the fifth batch would be the last. But you can still register using bit.ly/Sanskrit-course. I'll put that link as well. bit.ly/Sanskrit-course. I hope this becomes clickable. I'm not sure. It's not. Let me use the HTTPS. Even then, now it became clickable on YouTube. This link, Rishiji, you can use that link to register and join now as well. But yeah, the batch has started, so you are one day late. but there are a combination of pre-recorded videos and live streams. So the first live stream, there is still 1 week, so you can go through the pre-recorded videos until then. Yoga Vasishtam, somebody is asking. Mandarji is asking Yoga Vasishtam. Maybe for the next International Day of Yoga. Again, we have to be careful with the timings of the topics that we cover. So maybe for the next International Day of Yoga or some time like that. There are many topics to cover on yoga. There is Hatha Yoga Pradipika, there is Yoga Vasishtam, and Brahma Sutras are there, of course, and all the 3 bhashyas of the 3 acharyas. Let's see. Anything around yoga would be around a time which is particular to yoga. Indus Beauty MUA. Okay. So they're asking how to register for the course. All the details are in that link, that bit.ly/Sanskrit-course. There's people from all across the world in all time zones have attended the course already, so you can check the details there. Bhavya, okay, you guys are going to just ask questions in comments, is it? And before that, at the very top, Mr. Reggie Kuruvilla has posted around 20 or so. How many comments are these? Like, what's happening? Why are you so jangled up? I can't even read all these questions. Put one question or come to Crowdcast and ask the question in person. All right, guys, there are so many questions in comments. Again, how many people do we have? Still 140 people only. So you can still come to Crowdcast if you wish to. People on YouTube, you can come to Crowdcast using the pinned link and the password Mitra, MITRA, before other people come. Before that, yes, guys, on Crowdcast, all the patrons, anybody wants to come, Gonzalo ji, namaskaram, welcome. Anybody wants to come, talk to me on screen, have any questions to ask me? You can come live and then ask me. Oh, somebody said Krishna Satyam. Yes, Krishna, sorry, Karthik Satyam. Karthik ji, I've sent you a question, and Ishan also. Ishan Ajay ji also has a question. I've sent you both invites. You can accept them. Somebody called Avani, 3rd class, is asking in which Veda can we learn about army techniques. And Namaskaram, Ishan. And Namaste. Namaskaram, Karthik. Hey, Ishan, you were there on one of the Instagram live streams.
Yes, I was on the
Welcome back.
Panchatantra reading.
Panchatantra. Namaskaram. How are you? All good?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Tell me, any questions? How are things? This is a free-flowing live stream. So,
I was wondering if you've heard about a conference taking place in the US on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of September on the anniversary of 9/11, the Dismantling Hindutva conference.
Oh, is it? Okay. I've seen posters about it. I was not sure if it's really an event happening or it's just propaganda going on. I don't know what, but I've seen posters of it. Yes. Why is it a real? Do you know about it? Is it a real thing?
I heard a little bit about it, and I heard and I've read that they're doing it in around I think 40 universities in the US.
No, those universities have that I've seen. Those universities, that's just a terrible form of clickbait. They have just all the universities have declined their association with that event. That I know for sure. Yeah, they have. It's not. I don't know who made the poster, but it's very inflammable, isn't it? It's easy to create content like that and get views. I can also create. There are hundreds of topics which will inflame human sentiment.
There have been a lot of Hindus posting all over the internet about this, and some have been actually supporting it. My mom had showed me this tweet by someone who was saying that RSS is like the Indian equivalent of the Taliban. So these things are circling on the internet a lot. So I was actually wondering if it's actually happening and if you know anything about it.
See, I don't know if the event is happening for sure. I know for sure that some universities which have been placed on the poster have come out and said that we are in no way a sponsor or in any way associated with that event. That I know for sure. The event itself, if it's happening or not, I don't know. Shakha, is it is it an equivalent of Taliban? They have meetings going on. There is a government school beside my apartment. They have meetings every Sunday. I'm not a part of Shakha. I have friends who are a part of it. Are they Taliban? Really? uh, you should
It
see
was funny
they're
when I
quite
heard it
cute
also.
and they're very hardworking. They're very cute and hardworking. And some people, again, right? It's not that all of everybody in one particular group is the same way, right? There are individuals who have extreme opinions on both sides. But this kind of content, right? Why? See, it's very easy to invoke a negative emotion within you. It's in a second. I can call you something filthy right now and make you feel a negative emotion. It's like that. Faster than a blink, you can build up that negative emotion within somebody, either fear or anger, or that rage. It's very easy to build beget in somebody else, right? But love, to build love in somebody else, to build trust, to build something positive, something constructive, it takes a lot of time, repeated talking and effort. It's not easy. So it's people who want to get popular quickly, they do resort to this kind of tactics where you can
Right.
quickly get eyeballs to this topic. That is why all the news channels are full of flinging on each other. Why do you think that is? It's quick views, useless. Don't bother yourself with these things. Think of, see, always focus on this is the thing that you should remember. Anything that seems like that quickly evokes a reaction within you, but does not let you think and ponder over something, does not elicit a response within you, immediately know that this is something junk. That they have a term for this, pulp fiction. It's no use. Don't bother yourself. It's not worth your time. Just use your time for better things.
I also have some friends who are in Shakha, and they told me it's very fun, and there's nothing even, and actually, there are, that it's nothing about violence or anything against any other religion or anything. It's just they're just teaching about our dharma, the Hindu dharma.
Yeah,
There,
that's true.
and
That's, see, again, but again, I'll not deny that there are extreme sentiments on both sides.
yes, definitely.
They were hard. There's some hard history that we have to face. We can't whitewash all of it and think, oh, nothing, everything was hunky dory.
No,
Uh,
definitely.
right?
There have been a
Yeah,
lot
there
of
was
practices
bloodshed.
over
There
the
has,
years
yeah,
which have not been so great
yeah,
in even in our
exactly,
culture.
exactly. Yes. So there is nuance to everything. See, the world is not black and white. Never. No, even between two people, relationships are not black and white. So how can it be between large countries and large identities? When identities come together, there is always some friction. Always.
Definitely.
From friendships to interpersonal relationships to countries, of course, there are frictions. Anyways, so always, again, this kind of imagery. So it's all quick, just again, don't bother yourself with these things. Real work always takes time. Like impactful work, it takes time. Like a tree does not grow overnight. So if you want to do something impactful, you have to put your time and effort and your life into it. You want to do these small things, these cheap stunts which will bring you quick viewers, those viewers will go away immediately. After that is done, they'll find a quick fix somewhere else. So nice hairstyle, man. How long have you been growing your hair?
Um, since for like 3 years now.
Nice.
I
Nice.
got a haircut like
Pre-COVID?
2 weeks 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Thanks, Ishan. Shubhasan. Let's go to other people also.
Dhanwad.
Namaskaram. And I'll see you on the next live stream on Instagram with the next story of Panchatantra or the next project. Namaskaram, Karthik ji. Sorry, one second.
Namaskaram,
Namaskaram.
Udayji. First of all, thanks for choosing this time. This is a convenient time for me. I live
Is
outside
it?
India.
Okay. Yeah, we had a
Yeah, I
poll
was
on
right.
Patreon. It was almost 50-50.
Exactly.
The last time we had a poll, do we do it in the morning or evening? It was exactly like throughout the poll, the answers were 50-50. So I was like, what do we do now? Cool. We'll alternate between mornings and evenings. I can't promise that it'll be at the same time for forever,
Sure.
but we'll alternate between morning and evening for the convenience of everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. You had a question?
Yeah, I was
Oh.
going to ask something which, yeah, I was actually going to ask something related to what Ishanji asked.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was about the conference. So I do have
Really?
some, like, I don't
Is it
want to
happening for sure?
elaborate
Do
on
you
what.
know? Do you know? Is it a real
I
event?
think it's happening.
Really?
It
Okay.
is happening, and
Wow.
some universities have actually are sponsoring. Not everyone has backed out.
Okay.
Therefore, there is actually a petition also we can sign in. It's nothing like negative. It's just like we are signing the
Okay.
petition saying that some faculties are actually taking the lead and they are trying to project as if the universities are sponsoring it.
Right.
So
Right.
if we sign the
But
petition, then the universities would probably like distance themselves, which is a good thing, right? So I was just going to add that to what you already said. So
okay. Interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So in
But
addition, I also
yeah.
have another question. So
Yes.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. There's no
Yeah,
point discussing about it.
go
So
ahead.
no, there's
Yeah,
really
okay.
I have nothing
No,
more
if
to
you want,
add. I
I
think
can share the I can no, I can just share the petition if anyone is interested. They
yes.
can
Or the
just
link to the
view that.
actual event where it is happening, or is it really happening, or if it is
Yeah, sure.
happening, where is it happening? Who are the people involved in it? What are they talking about? What do they have to say?
Sure.
And it's in one sense, if they take it too far, it is they who will be discredited for the things that come out of their mouths, isn't it? So let them take that risk. It's always a risk to
Right.
come online to a larger public
But
venue and speak your mind. So it only reveals more about their own selves. So it's good that at least they're not
right.
pretending one way and then doing something in the background, but rather coming out. It's so in Ayurveda there is a thing called you know, and in homeopathy also I think that you make the disease grow and become visible first and then treat it. So let it become visible, no problem. Okay. Anyways, you had another question.
Yeah, I just have another question. So when I was watching your Patanjali Yoga Sutra videos, which was really informative, and
Thank you.
I liked it a lot. I know it's like a lot of videos with like 3 hours, but I took the time and it was really useful.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
interesting thing you mentioned in the video is about how Indians are spoiled for choices with respect to gurus. I agree with you on that on the spiritual side. But I also have a question on what you think about something that I also have an opinion on. So our gurus are generally teaching the spiritual stuff, but when it comes to non-spiritual stuff, they don't take a stance in terms of be it even like contribution to science, for example. In ancient India, for example, we had a lot of spiritual gurus, and India was known for its spirituality, but we also were a materialistically progressive country back then. Most of the scientific discoveries, inventions, mathematics, metallurgy, everything came from the so-called spiritual people. But today, we cannot say we are leading in science and technology. As individuals, there are good scientists who are working for various different countries and companies. But I guess from a national point of view, from an Indian point of view, we are not like we are not a scientific superpower in spite of so many gurus. I'm not saying gurus should be held accountable for
Got
that,
it.
but
Got it.
they don't seem to contribute much on that side, and they think their realm is only with the spirituality and they should stop there and they shouldn't say anything beyond that because it becomes controversial. Even to say something scientific, they use modern science as a validation for spirituality, which I think is kind of bringing
Yeah.
us our own
It's
thing
not
down. So
necessary.
what do you
It's
think
not.
of it?
See, but that is the truth still with a large segment of society. But I'll come to your question. But yeah, it is still unfortunate that a lot of us seek validation and find validation, unfortunately, still in something that has been given a stamp of approval from some university or from some research center abroad. Like individual insight and traditional wisdom do not elicit that kind of trust compared to it, you know, a seal of approval from universities abroad. But coming to your question about why do gurus limit themselves and where are these gurus who have this capability, and why don't they come up and lead in other fields of study? So these, from Rasayana Shastra to yoga. Yoga anyways is spirituality itself. From mathematics, from Ganita Shastra to performing arts of Sangeeta and Natya. So why do they not come forward? Because we don't have enough gurus, first of all. So that entire tradition, and how does a guru occur? So think about this. I won't go into the entire mechanics of this, but what kind of an ambience must there be that somebody evolves to such level of perception and insight in any particular field that they're able to see something which was never seen before, and they're able to take humanity to that next level of progress in whichever field they pursue? What kind of an ambience must there have been? What kind of upbringing must they have been through? So the that entire ambience supports to the formation of of an enlightened being, or a guru, or a pioneer, or a visionary, that the situations support them in such a way. So that can, one way of them coming up is through individual striving. Of course, they can be in the most horrible of situations and still stand up as a beacon. But we had a system where people naturally find their expression to their highest potential, where it's not a rare happening that for the entire country there are actually 3 or 4 authentic actual gurus, but rather for every city in Kerala itself, and in many places, if you look back in time, there were so many people who came up with so many path-breaking innovations and realizations in terms of in different fields. But one thing that you have to be, we all have to be mindful about is that somebody who is a pioneer in one field does not necessarily need to be a pioneer in every other field. So even if somebody is, so there are inner sciences which are absolute. So if somebody has reached a peak experience within, that knowledge is absolute. There is no longer any debate as to are they, to which level are they competent. All of them are competent to the same extent. With a little bit of, again, they have their own tweaks as to somebody is more about bhakti. They realize through bhakti. There are examples, of course, right now. Amritananda Mahima is, and there are other people. I don't want to take names of all the gurus and then call the other ones inauthentic. But there are people who have bhakti at their forefront. There are people who do kriya yoga at their forefront. There are gurus who excel and who transmit that kind of knowing when it comes to inner sciences. But because they know that, it does not mean that they're also competent in law, or in physics, or in chemical in sciences, or performing arts. Those that kinds of study takes dedicated learning and insight and committed time and struggle in that specific field. So somebody is an enlightened guru does not mean that they are also an expert in every other field of external sciences. They can be if they put their time and effort into it, but they have not, and they have better things to do. But what we definitely need are more pioneers who take, like Aryabhata, like Jaimini, like Kapila, and like Parashara. All of these sciences came from these enlightened beings of the past, but there was a system which generated them, which brought them about. Now, all of us being educated in a particular way, that we are better suited to be employees and not pioneers. So there is no school or university which makes which can produce innovators at scale. You see that, right, in the world. Even right now, there are only universities and all the organizations, institutions, large scale teaching institutions are only good for producing mediocre labor. They are not good for producing, they don't have the systems to produce human brilliance at scale. That takes a completely different kind of an ambience for the entire civilization to be in. The kids can no longer from the childhood start thinking about, oh, what will I become once I grow up? So there are still some in pockets. There are education systems like that which are going on. Very, very few and scarce organizations which develop a child to their own full potential. Once that happens, then we'll again find these geniuses who have that level of perception and insight into Ayurveda or Siddha kinds of medicine or performing arts or mathematics. Because and once we find those kinds of people, you will see that all these other contributions to modern sciences, which all these other academics have been doing so far, they'll far exceed the contributions of all these uh, other bred engineers or doctors or scientists of any kind, because they have access to a different kind of insight that into how universe functions. But that needs large scale overhaul of how Gurukula systems existed and how children are brought up. So unless that happens, we'll not find these pioneers at scale in the country. It's bleak. It's a very sad state of affairs, but what to do? That's the reality of how it is right now. Let's see how we can change it in the future. Anyways, you've gone, uh, you've disabled your video. All right.
No,
Anybody
no, there
else?
is a problem with my internet.
Oh, okay. I close your screen. All right. I hope I answered your question in some way. Um, how and when will this happen? Bhavya asks. It depends on you also, Bhavya. If you there are schools like that. If you want to, you can join enroll yourself or your kids into those education systems. But again, you need to let go of this idea that, oh, what will my kids become one day, or how will they earn their livelihood, or will they become competent in the way as in the world the way as we know it. So it's a tricky process. On YouTube, Parth Sarathi asks how to strengthen Samana Vayu. If you have been initiated into Shakti Chalana Kriya, do that. Or Samana, yeah. It again, don't think of just Samana and find some practices on YouTube or on the internet, and then do that practice on your own for Samana Vayu or Apana Vayu or anything else. You'll only harm yourself further. Don't do those things. This, if you really want to work on your Pancha Pranas, the Prana Vayus, the 5 different kinds of pranas, do that also step by step approach, like approach it with that caution it deserves. Somebody called Sky Do is asking, why is learning Sanskrit not a part of Project Sanskriti? It is part of Sanskriti. Oh, Project Sanskriti. Oh, they are teaching. They are not teaching Sanskrit large scale. They have not been taught to that extent that they can teach Sanskrit large scale, but they are still teaching some chants. Baby steps. Again, you have to progress step by step. So yes, Project Sanskriti is offering Nirvana Shatakam and some other Sanskrit chant as well. Guru Paduka Stotram, I think. I'm not sure. They'll start slowly. Sai Teja Mutyala asks, where do we get Garbha Shastra? Garbha Shastra. There is a Upanishad itself. All Upanishads are not only about the inner sciences. There is an Upanishad called Garbhopanishad. I think you'll find it online if you search for Garbhopanishad. Sweetie Gang. Oh, I'm guessing it's Gangwar or some North Indian surname, which is I read it as Gangwar, but I'm sure it's not Gangwar. Sweetie ji, it is not so difficult Sanskrit. It only takes some effort. Uh, you can also ask the same question about anything. Why is playing the veena so difficult, or why is learning flute so difficult? People do it with ease. Some people. You'll have to put in the effort, otherwise it is difficult. All right. Anybody who wants to come online, and guys, comments I can't keep going through. If anybody wants to have a conversation, you're welcome. Vijay Shri ji wants to ask a question. Vijay Shri ji, I'm sending an invite. Krishna Nair ji asks, yes, you can. Excuse me. Namaskar.
Hi, I hope I'm audible. Namaste.
Yes, you are. Namaskaram. Yes, you are audible, Krishnaji. Go ahead. You're not visible though.
Oh, wait, just give me a second
Sure.
now.
Yes.
Great.
Namaskaram. Welcome.
Namaskaram. Okay, so my question is that was ancient Indian society, sexist in any way and all?
Okay. Define sexism. This isms, no, we have just become so comfortable putting ism in front of anything and
Okay,
everything.
that's true actually.
Yeah.
I just learned that recently.
Day,
Yeah.
nightism, morningism, seasonism, whatever. What is this? Define it as you understand it.
Okay, it's just the belief that men are somehow superior to women, and that women should be dominated by men in all ways, sexuality,
Okay.
everything. I don't think
Okay.
in the ancient Indian
Okay.
society was
Then
sexist in any
male.
way,
Okay.
but I
Sexism.
don't
Okay.
know.
Okay. That in that sense. So was there a male dominated? Was it a male dominated society at
Yeah,
large?
there's always a
See,
tiny male dominance, but a
of
major one.
course. Exactly. See, there is patriarchy. There is matriarchy. How we arrange society around us, right?
Hmm.
Somebody has to take. It's a society. People have to take up responsibilities,
Yes.
right? So who governs? Who? See, if there are two people in a relationship,
Hmm.
now whose will be done? Will meaning, you understand whose will be done, who has more authority over whose word goes in the household,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
What do you think? In my house, I know for sure. In your house, how is it? Who's whose saying goes? Who has the final say on things, on how things run in your family, mom or
My
dad?
dad.
Your dad. Okay,
Hmm.
nice. Okay, but it differs, right? Really,
No, no. I
like,
mean, my mother passed away a few years back. When
oh,
she was alive, it was her.
okay. I'm sorry, but see, again, there are somebody has to come to an arrangement, right? Like that, right?
Hmm.
Like, of
Hmm.
course, based on different kinds of life situations or how the society is at large, somebody has to somewhere set the guideline that, guys, now either the father is the head of the family or the mother is the head of the family. Some Kerala has matriarchy, has a
Hmm.
very vibrant matriarchy,
Hmm.
but of course there was patriarchy going on too. There were in some
Yes.
some parts of some states, what men was saying, the head of the house was the father. In some,
Hmm.
it was the mother. So were they were males dominant and exercise their will on females?
Hmm.
See, there definitely were instances where that happened. See, we cannot deny, or again, as I said, whitewash truth on either sides.
Hmm.
So there were instances where, uh, based on caste, there was discrimination. Based on gender, there was discrimination. Based
Hmm.
on wealth, there was discrimination. Based on which part of the city, part of the town one lives, there is discrimination.
Hmm.
So there are isms of any kind, of every kind imaginable. Wherever there is a power imbalance, which is always the case, there is no such thing ever as a perfect balance of power. Is
Hmm.
there?
Yes,
See, there is a
absolutely.
perfect balance of power. Any relationship. So sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. It's like that. It's like a pendulum.
Hmm.
I'm right getting this analogy. So sometimes it goes like this, sometimes it goes like this. It's like that.
Hmm.
But you can't deny it. Is uh, yeah. Is it? Do you call it sexism? Yeah, you can call it if you want to. We need words in English. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And the word dasa, right?
Mm-hmm.
The word dasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does it mean? Does it mean slave or does it mean servant?
Dasa means somebody who gives willingly.
Hmm.
The word,
Hmm.
the sound the, jalada. You know what jalada means?
Just give me a second.
Sure. Not muted. I'm asking you a question and you're going away. Anyways, so dasa comes from the root sound to give, which means somebody who gives willingly. It's not somebody who is a captured slave. Dasa is somebody who's a willing slave. There is a world of difference. There is a world of difference between a willing slave and a captured slave.
Hmm.
So you understand it, right? I
Yes.
hope you get the distinction between a willing slave.
Yeah.
So there is somebody who is just willing to do anything. So basically, what does a slave mean? They have no will of their own anymore,
Hmm.
right? Anything that
Yes.
the master says, they have to do. There is no choice. of action, of anything for that matter. There is beyond choices, their life is. Now, if you your life choiceless, there's beautiful bliss in it. You can't even imagine. So all these modern day, all these millionaires, billionaires, whatever they are, this Zuckerberg and all of these guys, they consciously eliminate the choices they have. They have, their wardrobes are all filled with one kinds of t-shirts. Their shoes, even if they have hundreds of pairs of them, are all the same way, so that they don't have to have that choice anymore in life. So
surrendering to a system.
Yes, so if that surrender comes willingly, it's blissful. If the surrender is forced upon you, it's
torture.
Torturous. Yes. So Dasa is somebody who gives willingly. There is.
So that means that there weren't any slaves in ancient India until maybe the Turks came.
I don't know, man. I'm not an expert on history, so I won't claim things I'm not 100% sure of. See, again, do you think there were? Tell me honestly. What do you think?
Personally, no, I don't think so.
Why?
I've never
You
seen
think,
any instant. No, I mean,
I don't want to
ancient Greece,
use
it had a
harsh
lot of
language,
slaves.
but
Pardon?
you think sun shone out of their every orifice.
Yeah,
So
voice is not.
right? Okay, good that my voice was not audible. But anyways, see, it's not that we lived in a perfectly ideal society. That
Yes,
never
definitely.
exists. It never exists across any time. That is what I keep talking about, right? Nuance. There is always nuance to things. We want to either, just sit on one side of the fence or the other. And being on the fence is somehow portrayed as the wrong thing. Be on the fence, depending on where something is available. Walk on the fence. If there is something good on one side, go there. Come back to the fence. If there is good on the other side, go there. Come back to the fence. Stay on
Yes.
neutral ground. So if there were filthy powerful people, and you're willing to think that in ancient India, ancient Bharat, people were prosperous, people were influential.
No, no,
Do you
not completely. You can't go on any extremes.
correct? And even if they were thinking that it was an ideal society, or if it was a prosperous nation, much more prosperous than how now things are, before after all the colonizations and the loot, comparatively thinking that they were prosperous, do you think there was nobody who abused their power?
No, no, that is absolutely impossible. There would
Definitely no.
definitely be people who
Somebody
abuse
who
their
is
power.
powerful
Yes.
enough, of course, would have. So how do you or I know that there were no slaves? Maybe there were people who were caught and kept. Or if slavery is at how many different levels, it's not necessary that you have to capture somebody from some faraway land and bring them. In your own city, you can get somebody who is impoverished and take away their will and make them do your bidding without giving them their due pay. It's slavery. So exploitation happens. So how this can be removed is not, through large scale solution for this is through law. You can impose penalties upon people. You can regulate them.
Like what
But
Lincoln did.
yeah, like how governments do it. I don't want to take examples again. How that is how you do it at large scale. But at a society, if you want to really bring about change, true lasting change always happens at an individual level. You have to evolve people to a level of sensitivity and consciousness within as a society, that in the society in general it is looked down upon. People are brought up from their childhoods in a certain way, not to exploit somebody who is not at the uh, same level of societal growth in whichever capability, be it through birth, be it through gender, be it through wealth. That if you are at a certain higher standing, there is always going to be somebody who is below you, and you'd never take advantage of those person. That somebody who's standing below you is something that you have to develop from within. At a large scale societal change, it can only be imposed through law. So this kind of overarching generic questions, right? This is what I see as a pattern to your questions was
I'm
the
slightly a fanatic in some ways, can't deny it.
right? Why go to such kind of questioning even? Because there is always going to be outliers. There are always going to be things. So there is no way pretending that everything was hunky-dory or everything was terrible. Even if there were men who oppressed women in the past, there was and is a vibrant culture of being a slave to Devi. There is Devi Bhakti, there is Shakti worship going on throughout the country. Now, if Shakti worship is there, does that mean crimes against women are not happening? Of course not. That also happens. This also happens. That's how we are, human beings.
Yeah, very twisted beings.
I'm not. See, twisted beings. That it's not twisted within yourself. There is no need to twist it up. That is how society is. It's it's all these strings coming together. Of course, there are going to be knots. Don't have to be worried that this is human beings are twisted. Again, one more overarching stated: are human beings twisted? No. So don't go to that extremism. This is called as extremism, making blank statements on any particular group. Do you think Islam is vile or evil?
No, it's inherently neutral.
I don't know. I don't know what they are. Right? There are individual people always. At large scale, are they causing harm to somebody, or are they, large groups of people always behave differently in different places. Taliban, of course, they within themselves, they are not thinking they are villains. Okay, the entire world might be thinking they are villains. Everybody is a hero in their own lives. They might be thinking they are working for the supreme in their own lives. So it's all of it. My request, I don't want to go about doling out free advice, but my request for you would be, whenever you make these generic conclusions about anything, look at it, give some space for nuance also.
Look at them from the accused's perspective as well, right?
Look at it from your perspective only. See that there are so many players involved in the game, always, and there are individuals who are playing whatever game is being played. Okay.
Yes, definitely. That makes so much sense. Thank you so much.
No concrete answer on anything, but I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining. Namaskaram.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram, Vijayashri. Namaskaram. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, okay. I was not any general question. This is a question pertaining to Sanskrit and the very basics. That is the alphabet itself.
Happy for me.
Okay. So first thing is, I was just teaching Sanskrit alphabets to kids, and then suddenly realized that there are these two alphabets, R and R. R.
Yes.
Okay, so I was teaching them the Barakhadi too, but I found out that I don't have how to write the matra for that one.
In which script?
Sanskrit.
In Devanagari script.
Devanagari script. Okay.
Ru and Ru, right?
Yeah, like you write the Barakhadi, right? You know that vertical line and horizontal for E, and then on the left is for small E. Like that. How do I do it for R and R?
You write Ru.
The word itself.
For example, the letter itself.
The letter.
For example, there is this. Okay, it goes like this. For anybody who does not know this, there is A. All of these are swaras, the vowels of the Sanskrit alphabet. A, I, U, R, and then there are two more called L and L. These two letters are what Vijayashri is asking about. For L, the longer Dirgha version of L, I don't have any examples for words that are used.
Anyway, it says that it goes in the Vedas only. We don't get that.
Even in Vedas, I don't know where that.
But it says that it is used in the Vedas. That is what is told about it. So because I have not attempted to get into that, so I'm just asking you.
Sure. Now the shorter version of it, L, is used in a couple of words. One more famous example is Kudrupta, which means concise.
Yes.
Now, how you write Kudrupta is you write Ka, and then the Ka has one vertical line from the center.
Okay.
You make that as the right line for Lru. Lru has a line coming from top, right? If you write it separately.
So the letter itself, you mean to say I have to write the letter itself?
Remove the line, write the letter itself below the whatever letter you are joining it with.
Okay.
And if you have the time, you can come to Vak-Shuddhi classes, check it out. I teach how to write Lru and
No,
Lru.
actually, I have done the Vak-Shuddhi.
In the second week videos we have, no?
The matra. See, the letter is there. The letter is there, but the matra.
That also I made in second week video. Which batch were you in?
The very first one.
First one. Oh, first one, the classroom is not accessible anymore.
I was in the very first one. So.
Okay. But in the second week, in the Barak Khadi, the first one, at least for Ka, for Ka, I use Ru and Lru as well. For in the conjugations, as they call them, combinations of sounds.
Fine.
But for the next one, from Ka, Ga, all of them, I haven't used Lru and Lru because they're not used anyways. So if you're teaching children, you need not necessarily teach, Lru.
Yeah, but then I just got it out that why I have not used it. See, that is one thing. When you're teaching, you actually know that what you have not learned when you were a student. So I was just looking into that.
There are all these 33 consonants. You don't have to do Lru versions for all of them.
Yeah, that is it. And then one more thing is the mahAprANas. No, we have a Kha, but Yara Lava, no, Yara Lava Shasha. Where do I place them, or do they come under the mahAprANas?
No. So there are different groups. They're categorized into different groups. All these 25 consonants, they form one group.
Yeah, that is.
And then Yara Lava, they are called as Antastha.
Yeah, that
also, that terminology. I did not use this.
You did not use it, but I have just made a lot of for teaching the students. No, I had to really get.
So there are Sparsha.
Yeah.
And there are Antastha. There are these kinds Sparsha with letters that happen when you touch, when two things touch. Yes. And so there are Antastha. They do not have all these mahAprANa, AlpaPrana. mahAprANa and AlpaPrana differentiation.
Only 25. Okay.
Only if their sound is produced in a certain way can there be two different things. It's not because it is written in grammar like that we don't have them. In the vocal cavity itself, it's not possible. For Ka, Ka is possible. For Ya, what is possible? Nothing.
No, that actually just to see that, no, because right now what I'm doing is I have learned Vishnu Sahasranama, and then I'm actually getting into the pronunciation portion of it. So actually that is what it is told. It is actually beneficial for the health. So it is, everybody have told, like I've been teaching that one, and there were many students and many people who came and told us it's working. But then I was just trying to look into, there are people who are doing that statistical analysis, that there are many people chanting that one and people are coming and telling, yeah, it is working. Yes, definitely it has worked. There are actually, you also must be believing in that one, that the language itself is very scientific. The very utterance of the alphabet itself is it gives a lot of
physiology, and it has the potency to, yes.
It has, but one thing as the scientific thing, no, like why it works, like what is there in that one, is a particular frequency or something which actually, what is that frequency? Because the vocal cord is different for different person. So when you utter that, the frequency which it generates, like the pitch.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I meant was, maybe I'm not using the scientific term for it, but then I'm just trying to only get that it differs from person to person, but definitely it helps, right?
Yeah.
So
the pitch differs, the harmonics differ.
Yeah.
So there are different things. If somebody wants to do a scientific study on it,
actually, I am doing that one.
You are doing it? Okay.
Actually, I attempted to do that one. I did put a question to you. I emailed to you long time back, like of your very first Vak-Shuddhi. But then I did not get a response. So I just thought, okay, today is a good day, then I can just ask you it online.
Right. So about going about.
Actually, let me finish. Actually, what I am trying to do, let me complete it. Maybe after that one, you can just elaborate on that.
You were quite sure I'll go on a long rant. So like.
No, I just wanted what question I wanted to, because what I started was I just thought to record, because my alphabet as a voice, and then try to do a frequency. Okay, try to get the DSP, like the frequency pattern of that one.
Exactly.
But then what, it will only give the frequency pattern or whatever the...
You did a Fourier transform on it, basically.
Yeah, I did a Fourier I've not yet done because I'm a little bit busy. I'm not able to do it. But this is
you have a background in digital signal processing, is it?
Yeah, I'm an MTech in that.
Okay. Okay. Is it your PhD topic by any chance?
No, I just wanted to do it in case if I have, because I'm not in this field. Actually, I am a scientist in ISRO. So.
Oh, is it? Nice.
So.
And which department, ma? Where do you work? Like.
I think you must. I'm in. I was in Chandrayaan 2. You must have seen me on screen, but then, so.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for all the work for the country.
So okay, now I'm into Chandrayaan. I'm into actually the. Human rating certification and all that is.
Sorry, what certification?
It's a human rating certification.
Can you please keep your camera slightly lower? I don't know. We had a person of interest among us. Udayshreyas, thank you so much. First of all, from all of us, I guess there are comments going on. Can we do as the YouTubers do, Udayshreyas OP in the chat, please? Thank you so much. Means overpowered. I don't know. Thank you so much for coming by. So tell me. So you are.
So what I planned to do was first to do a transform of the alphabet and try to get the frequency for every alphabet. But that is a tedious process. So I need to do not only for the letters, I need to do it for the entire Barakhadi. Right. That is how then when I actually I wanted to try it with Vishnu Sahasranama. This is what is I already have it with me.
You have Tamilaninga?
No, it is Sanskrit. Actually, because I learned it from Vishwas Institute, so it has a bilingual thing. It's a trilingual actually, English. Okay. English. I'm a Kannadiga.
Oh, you're a Kannadiga.
Yeah.
Namaskara.
So, yeah.
And you live in ISRO? Where?
Bangalore.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So what I thought is I will just do this and then try to see how the patterns, and then we have a Guruji. I thought, okay, mine is first sound, and I will take the Guruji's sound and try to fix. Maybe I'll get a range of frequencies and then keep that as a reference. Then try.
Can I just add one? I mean, I have a quick question. So when you did that frequency analysis, when you found that, it is of course going to be, as you know, different for different people.
Yeah, that is what I told me and my Guruji. So I have two different ranges. So it may be. Yeah,
what I think can be done, I don't know if you already looked into it. See, for people who might be thinking that who is this guy coming and giving an IS or a scientist advice, I have a little bit of background in engineering myself, and I was in electronics and communications, so I know this Fourier transforms and digital signal processing and all of that stuff. So from what limited knowledge I have and Sanskrit, I'll try to give some insight as to where the answers might lie. So one thing is these sounds, all of these sounds, the 51 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet have physiological correlation with the human body.
Yeah, that's true.
You already have that mapped?
So that map is not there because my sister is working on that portion of it.
I can give it to you. So it is available online also. It's available for free, and on the YouTube channel also, on Sanskrit channel it is there. Mooladhara has 4 sounds: Vam, Sham, Sham, and Sam.
Yeah, I have this. You have,
you have it. And then Swadhisthana has, it's that from Ba, Bha, Ma, Ya, Ra, La.
Yeah.
Then one level above has 10. Manipuraka has 10. So how is human physiology and these sounds mapped? Now, you can't go about finding the actual frequency of these sounds, because they of course will differ based on the vocal tenor of different age groups across different things. It goes a little beyond that. Where that might lie is if you can see if there is a similar pattern for all these vocal cord ranges, even if it's a male, old male, young male, old female, young female, take across different regions, it needs a large sample set. And for the same B sound, or for the same B sound, for that same Fourier transformation, how are the harmonics? I'm sure you understand harmonics. This might be getting too technical, but still people are watching. I don't know. So even if there is one main frequency and then there are harmonics, which decide how the, what is that word called? How the, there is some French word for it. The flavor of the voice. What is that word? Timbre.
Okay.
Timbre. So that is a very vague kind of a term. I don't know how you'll bring it scientifically, but if you do that, you find those harmonics where those harmonics are primarily, and if you can pattern match and find that the sound B has the same pattern irrespective of who is speaking it.
Actually, here what I thought was I will just take my voice, because I cannot get many people to volunteer to get this voice recorded and then feed it to that one. So what I thought was I will just take my voice and Guruji's voice, and I'll have a range. So when I do FFT of all these things, maybe I'll get a center frequency for mine. I may get for something, but when I do this thing, maybe it will lie between this range to this range with some threshold I can put, so I can get.
You can't go by center frequencies for sure. You can definitely cannot go by.
I'll get one center frequency for. I'm not sure of the result, but I yet to write that one, because I actually asked a PhD student to do that, but he's too busy, so I was not able to get any person, so I just kept it. I have to sit and write it.
You'll have to, as I understand it right now, I don't know if there is more to it.
Okay, fine.
These frequencies will definitely differ.
Definitely.
What can definitely be assigned for each particular sound of the Sanskrit alphabet is the pattern of the harmonics. They might be same, be. You'll have to go with this hypothesis and test if it's true, that they, for any particular letter of the Sanskrit alphabet, for all the combinations of Bara, Kadi, whoever says it, if 10 different people from 10 different parts of the world with all different criteria say it, you need to find what is common in terms of that sound pattern for all of them, for all those human beings. Because if only Indians are benefited from Vishnu Sahasranama, it's no good. Of course, there is an element of bhakti. There is an element of faith that is in play, and disregarding it at the level of sound itself, how pure are these sounds? If you have to find an answer to it, you'll have to find patterns in terms of digital signals, which is common and which can be established as being the same for one particular letter, irrespective of who speaks it at which age range. That same pattern, if you can find, then what you'll be essentially creating is a new alphabet system in signals for the entire Sanskrit vocabulary. This is exciting. So I'm in a different field which pays me well, so I'll not jump into that. But anybody else who is doing physics or is
this was then what I thought was the next step was I would like to take one shloka of that Vishnu Sahasranama and chant that one and try to see what is the frequency pattern in that one, and see that, because you need to do the entire Vishnu Sahasranama to get the benefit, because the very important thing is the ucharana. That is.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you pick a smaller work, like there are Saraswati shlokas, there are different kinds of, there is Gayatri mantra, which is
there is, but then what I do is, because why I'm taken this, because we are doing it as a part of a team. My sister is looking into the statistical portion of it, but I don't want to get into the statistical portion of it. I wanted to get into the technical portion, like why. It is definitely helping, but how it is actually helping our human physiology. So that is what, and then entirely it is only frequencies. And when you actually utter the whole thing, as that 40 minutes it takes through for the entire Vishnu Sahasranama with the proper ucharana, you can see the vibrations around you. Okay, so I know that definitely, because I'm doing it myself for the past few months. I definitely see that difference. So I was just thinking I've just taken this, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, sure. But if you want to quickly get some results, maybe pick some, just the Ashtakshari mantra, or
definitely, yeah. That even the very first mantra of Vishnu Sahasranama Shuklam
itself, that itself. So that will probably have your,
Yeah, a signature. I will be able to get
Correct.
the first signature
Correct.
of that one.
Correct.
So, okay, I think I
I
have
am
to
again, as I said, my 2 cents. I from whatever I've learned, this again, you'll also have to probably work with physiology experts. I don't know
Yeah.
if you have people like that in your school.
Actually, I am in touch with doctors. I'm in touch with gynecics. I'm in touch with the actually
Perfect. Yes, because
for
you need those health experts and
because
who can
those
read.
because ultimately, if I'm not in touch with them, then it is.
Yes,
But only thing is whether
it's a multidisciplinary project. It needs.
it is, but it's on a voluntary basis. So to get people to work on it is
See, this
like,
is the thing. If
yeah,
see,
that's
if in a different country somebody else asked, if in a different country you went with this proposal,
yeah,
that this is my idea that I want to do this. Now this, I have set up this and this. There's the team working on it, and I need to take this up forward. You present a thesis. There would be universities or there would be research centers who are willing to fund this
yeah.
in a big way. I don't know. I don't want to judge any organization or institution.
I know. I myself, I'm with
But
the.
where will you get funds
myself.
for this kind of studies?
So I know because
Sad.
I'm also busy with office, so I can because this needs a lot of dedication to sit with and then
Yeah.
try to actually.
Exactly. You can't do this as a hobby. This needs to be a full-fledged.
It's not an hobby; it's my full time because I tried on patients. I actually got some patients and then taught them Vishnu Sahasranama. I told you sit, you measure your vitals and let me know before, after, and that. But then they will learn. Then they will not give the dedication. They will just no, I'm busy.
Yeah. I had almost 10,000 students so far.
So because I know critical patients who are actually benefited out of it. Like even there were some things about the
things will get better in the future. But thank you for pioneering the work, definitely. And thank you for
in case I don't know if there are any DSP students who would want to call
Is there any way for people to reach out to you?
Yeah, then I think that will be your
ID or something. If you are okay, if you want to give your email ID or something in chat.
Definitely.
You can type it out in chat.
Yeah.
Or you can let me know in the video itself. You can say it out so that
it is PALED04@gmail.com. PALED04@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it was a long question. I don't know.
No, not at all. It was not a question. It was more of a discussion. Thank you for being the discussion. We had asked, discuss, and debate. We've not had any debates, a strong debate kind of a thing so far, which I don't know if we can even expect. But thank you so much for joining. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Namaskar. All right, what's the time? Oh, we still have half an hour more. Cool. So meanwhile, I see that there was the chat is doing its own things. Nikhil ji, thank you so much for the super chat or sending 40 rupees on YouTube. You had a question attached to that? Did that super chat come with strings attached or no strings attached? Where did it go? You can't see it anymore. Can't see it. Okay. I hope it was no strings attached super chat. Thank you so much. Anybody else who wants to speak about anything? Yes, it was a pleasure to hear from Udayshreyas ji. Thank you so much for coming live. I'm not a guru, guys. Ito Ludwig ji says you are a guru. No, I'm not a guru. Thank you. Gurus have their own troubles. I don't want to get into their category. It's so much headache I can't handle. I'm a teacher. I teach what I know, the best of my capabilities. I don't want to climb some pedestal where I don't want to. Anyways. Rishi Kumarji Vak-Shuddhi course has gone his live recorded session. All our live streams on Vak-Shuddhi will be recorded and there'll be a replay available at the same link, like for everything else on Crowdcast. So you need not worry that. And it was a pre-launch live stream, so there isn't. I only talk about the course and how to access the course. You can watch a replay of it, no problem. Kyle ji asks, do we search for a guru or do we wait for one to come to us? Kyle ji, anything can be your guru. From the sun to the moon to a small insect, anything. Your guru depends on how you burn within yourself, on what you want to do intensely. So if there is really something that you want to do that physically burns you up, these people, we have the best terminology to define these things. You know what tapas means? All of us might have heard of the word tapas. It comes from tap, which means heat. You literally burn up. All these stories of people entering fires. You can actually burn yourself up from within, from anger, from love, from all. You can rev up your emotion to such an extent that either through bhakti or through krodha, anything, you can physically, you can actually measure these things that you can burn up. If that longing burns you, that you need to, for anything, then paths will open up. Then the creation will open up. This might seem like a filmy dialogue, but the universe will. That is how creation is arranged. That this energy does not go unaddressed in creation. There will be, it's like the weather. If there is enough pressure that is generated, there the creation responds appropriately. So you create that pressure within you, the creation responds. That is how it works. Anyways. Anybody else who wants to come on screen and have a chat, debate, or discuss, or ask? Heliocentricity in Vedas, yes, of course. You go to any temple, the sun is in the center. It's stupidity to think heliocentricity. Anyways, let's not go to heliocentric, geocentric. Why are you retyping my own statement? Anyways, guys, who wants to come on screen? Oh, Reji Kuruvillaji, namaskaram. Good to see you on Crowdcast. So much you struggled, so many, like 20, 30 comments on YouTube. I'm sending you an invite. Come on screen, let's see what your problem is. I don't want to read through 10, 15 sentences of text. Tell me your problem. Kiranji, I think you have come now already on screen. Thank you for everybody who is watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. Nobody wants to come up on screen yet. Reji Kuruvillaji, I've sent you an invite. You can. Okay, namaskaram.
Namaskaram. So I am into languages, and hence my question was related to languages. Like, there are lots of people these days who want to learn Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and it's like, Sanskrit has a good influence with Buddhism. Because there are lots of sutras and everything which is there in Mahayana Buddhism, which is with Sanskrit. But I do not know any such resources, which is like, it is there in Sanskrit and Chinese, or Sanskrit and Korean, Sanskrit Japanese, Sanskrit Vietnamese. So would you be knowing such resources? Because I asked, okay.
I haven't. I know only Ni Hao in Chinese or Mandarin, I think. So apart from that, I don't know anything. And but we had a couple of students from China who joined through VPN. Their internet is they have their own restrictions. They joined through VPN, and there are patrons also from China. So I don't know personally, but of course, Gautama Buddha coming from Bharat. The same concept. It's not that Buddha came up with a new idea. It's the same thing. So if you look into Upanishads, you'll find the same essence of it. It's Saguna versus Nirguna. That's it.
It was like actually to, like, since we would be having an idea of Sanskrit, so it's like, also reading that same material in Chinese or in Japanese would help us learn that language, because we have a background. So,
Where are you from?
I'm from Mumbai.
You live in Mumbai. But what is this curiosity about Japanese, Chinese?
Okay, it's like I have tried to make my domain into languages, into foreign languages.
And what do you do, may I ask?
I work as a translator currently.
Oh, wonderful. Translating between?
Translating currently between French and English, because I'm in Capgemini company. But the thing is, I have had opportunities, and I have been, I have had the opportunity to teach 21 languages.
Oh, wow.
So the thing is,
teach 21 languages.
So the thing is,
okay.
It's like, when I started going through it and the notes and everything, I'm trying to find the common thing. So for example, with European languages or something, like, Bible is translated in most world languages. So, but then that can be useful for Christian students because they have an idea of what is written in the Bible. So in case they want to, study French or something, they can start reading the French Bible because, the stories and everything, they know, they have an idea. So, that way it helps. Similarly, for the Hindu students that we have, it's like, there are like shlokas which is there, like there in Japanese and in Sanskrit, which are like similar, but then the rendering of it is a bit different. But then I am trying to find those resources which are, but I'm unsuccessful to find it, because it's like when we find such a common ground, it helps a language study.
Okay, this is fascinating. We have so many fascinating people joining in with fascinating projects. So you look like you are into sadhana. So have you do any kind of sadhana, any
Nothing.
spiritual?
I do no
You don't.
sadhana.
Okay, but
It's just that, I've
what's
stopped
the
shaving, or it's just that, with
okay?
COVID thing, we need not go to office. So I've
Okay.
stopped all these
Okay,
things.
let me be blunt with the question. Do you really know 21 languages, or is it
No,
some
no, no. I do
number?
not know 21 languages. No,
Okay.
I have just like
How do you teach them then?
how do I teach them? Because I started with French because we have it in school.
Okay.
So I started with French language. Then I
So,
started
wait.
je,
Parler
je,
français.
I,
What parler
je
français?
parle français.
Je parle français. Is it?
Huh.
Okay.
Yes.
Je n'ai pas parle français. Is
Je ne parle pas français.
okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So your French is good. That much I can understand. Okay.
So
Huh.
then after
So
French,
you
I
started
started with
teaching.
Spanish.
Okay. Where did you teach it?
Okay, it's just like, it's like a local institute, because the thing is, first there was this. What happened
Who were
was,
your audiences? Sorry, may I ask who were your
okay,
audiences?
who were my audiences? It was like basically people who are like migrating out there, or
What
who will
age
be
group?
like, huh?
What age group?
What age group? It will be from 20 to
Okay.
30,
Okay. Wonderful.
30 age group.
So, your name is Reggie, no?
Yes,
Yes.
Malayali.
Uh, Namaskaram, Cheta. But so you right now have an idea, and what you want to do is translate spiritual content in Sanskrit to world languages so that they are more accessible to people. No, that's what you
No,
think. Okay.
no, no, no. I'm not trying to translate it because I know such translation things which are going on.
Okay.
And I've also sent them mails and everything, because it's like when
But
a
what
book
do you
gets.
want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to find bilingual text.
Hmm.
Bilingual text means Sanskrit text and those language text.
Hmm.
Because as
In
most of, because
Sanskrit and
based in
what the
India,
second languages?
Sanskrit and like for example, Sanskrit and Chinese text, or Sanskrit and Japanese text,
Okay.
Sanskrit and Vietnamese text, because it's like what happens is, as most of the students are Hindu,
Hmm.
as most of my student population is Hindu,
Hmm.
they have an idea of Sanskrit.
Hmm.
They may have, not always, but some of them
They
do have.
know Sanskrit at least. I mean, they
Yes,
know about Sanskrit, if not
they
Sanskrit.
know about things. So
Okay.
the thing is, for example, something which is common,
Hmm.
that then helps to acquire a language.
Okay.
And this is what, as a teacher, I'm trying to find resources,
Okay.
because then that helps sustain an interest of a student also.
Okay. I'm okay. I think I understand what you seek to do, but I'm not the best person to give you those resources. I'm sorry, I don't have them. Um, but now, if anybody else watches this, if you have an email ID to give out, anybody else who can help out Reggie, you can let them know.
And then based on this, it was like the other questions were like, uh, does Sanskrit have a script of its own? Because each script has its own limitation.
So Sanskrit does not have a script of its own. It can be written in multiple scripts: Devanagari, Brahmi, Lipi. There are different kinds of Lipi or script, as they call it. So no. Short answer is no. Sanskrit does not have a dedicated script, but Devanagari is the most apt. It's the most
No, because for example, the
the
R and
relationship.
the
Yes.
like for example, in the Vedic Sanskrit, there was this distinction between R and L, but then the Devanagari script does not having it or not using it
Yeah. So
makes
this
Sanskrit a bit poorer.
writing business came much later, but there is a text called Varnodhara Tantra, which talks about, you can note it down, there is this text available, Varnodhara Tantra. It talks about each of these shapes of the letters of the alphabet and what their significance is. You see, they are all made of circles and bisections of circles or quadrisections of circles. So it's all very geometric in that sense, Devanagari especially. All Indian scripts are, most of the Indian scripts that I know for sure are. But this text talks about why those particular sounds, not exactly why, but how. It does not talk about why, but much before why I asked you if you are into any of these spiritual practices, is because you can apply your mind to these things and look at them intellectually and try to arrive at a solution to do these things. But sadhana will let you bypass a lot of that manual effort and give you insights which your mind may take a long time to arrive at. Did that sentence make sense to you? So take up some sadhana, try something, maybe some kriya yoga, maybe something which appeals to you. Look for different kinds of yoga practices. Take something up. That sadhana will definitely help you. You are in Kerala, no? Have you been to
Mumbai, I
mahAprANas?
stay in
You
Mumbai.
stay in Mumbai. Oh, I don't know any spiritual gurus centered in Mumbai. Nobody wants to put up a headquarters in Mumbai. It's a terrible city to have a headquarters for a spiritual place. You'll have to travel out. But all of these people definitely have centers in Mumbai, small like sub centers. You can go there, visit them. Anybody. See, watch their YouTube videos, all these gurus. Anybody whose sensibilities match with yours, attend their spiritual program. Not just talks, but sitting down and doing a sadhana for some time, whatever time that be. That will give you deeper insights into these things, which I'm sure of. All right, namaskaram. And don't spam me so much. The first 20 comments were yours. I put 10 seconds delay. You must have at least spent what 10-15 minutes just typing those
200 word limit, the 200 word limit.
Why? You could have just come and had this discussion with me. Don't put so much effort. All right. Thank you. Namaskar. All right. Somebody has taken the freedom. Hatha yoga teachers unnarga Mumbai lo. Hatha yoga teachers ఉంటారు, వాళ్ళు నేర్పిస్తారు కానీ ఒక సెంటర్కి వెళ్ళి అంటే అక్కడ ఉన్న టీచర్, అక్కడ ఉన్న గురువు మాటలు విని నేర్చుకోవడం డిఫరెంట్ potency. Anyways, I'll not talk more in Telugu. Okay, Geeta ji has a question. Oh, we are alternating between agendas. Okay, good. Somebody asked sexism, so we'll do away with sexism and do one male, one female. We'll be fair about it. Geeta ji, I've sent you an invite. No? If you want to come up on screen and ask a question, you can. Or have a discussion or debate, you can. Skydo keeps asking, how does one learn to code in Sanskrit? There are no programming languages in Sanskrit yet. A couple of people are trying to come up with it. The one I heard was not up to the mark. I did spend some time with that person. I don't want to reveal their name. They tried to build it. It was having been a mediocre coder myself at one point of time in both hardware programming languages like Verilog and VRL and C, C++, Java. I did not endorse that language. Anyways, namaskaram, Geeta ji. Namaskaram. Yes, ma, you had a question?
Yes. So I perform regular japa, and during when you're a woman, there are people who say that during your menstruation cycle you cannot perform japa, at least even touch the mala or mala based japa. So I always had this confusion within me So there are people who says that during that time when you perform japa or chant any mantra, it affects your chakras, it imbalances the energy flows downwards, and there are different kind of theories behind it. But I do not know what exactly is the right thing to do, because I personally prefer a mansik japa at least during that time. So it will be great if you can actually answer this question.
See, I don't have. Okay, you have any other concerns you want to address before I can only give my perspective of this. Of course, I am not equipped with the reproductive system so I don't know as a personal experience. What I can give you as answer is something that sounds logical to me. I haven't experienced it for myself. I'm incapable of course. But you have any other? That's your question.
Yeah,
Can one do,
that's my question.
or is there any basis to this, or what?
No,
Okay.
this is my question. That's
Okay. What japa are you doing? Or like
Gayatri mantra.
Oh, Gayatri mantra japa. You've learned it from somewhere?
Yes, actually, it's a part of my diksha. I took after my diksha sanskara, I at least do 3 malas a day from Gayatri Parivar.
Okay, what did they suggest?
So at least 3 malas a day.
About the menstruation cycles and about
that is mansik japa. As per Gurudev, he says that at least mansik japa is absolutely good. There is no harm in it.
Okay. But they've mentioned that physically doing it, touching the japamala, you better not do during your menstrual cycles during those days. Okay. And your question is, why is that instruction there?
Yeah.
Or what is it about? Why do we need to follow such things? So one thing, have you read Sinu Joseph is a woman who knows better about these things. Have you read her book? I've downloaded it on Kindle. What is it called? Menstruation in something. So the author is called Sinu Joseph. You can check her book out. And what she did her research on these kinds of restrictions and these kinds of practice, these kinds of suggestions by people that you should not do certain things during certain times during the menstrual cycles. And she went to she asked all sorts of gurus around as to why this is happening. Is it some kind of a discrimination against human reproductive system, against women? Is it some kind of a sin, or is it impure, or how is it? What is it? And she found her answers from a guru called Amritananda Natha. He was a male, of course, but he was a Devi Upasaka. And the most the staunchest of Devi Upasakas there was, at least he is more, in near Vishakhapatnam at Anakapalli in Andhra Pradesh, if you know the place. He established a whole shrine, whole complex. It's a temple structure, 3 levels for Devi as Shri Yantra. If you go there, there are yagas. You know Yajna Kunda. The Yajna Kundas are shaped in the form of a yoni. Yoni meaning a womb. A female genitalia is present there as a Yajna Kunda. Within that, they put to all these fire rituals. It is within that yoni or the womb that they do these yajnas. And it's a temple dedicated towards the mother goddess, towards her being the mother. And very similar to Kamakhya, where the menstruation is worshipped during Ambubachi Mela, I think, the 3 days or 5 days of the festival. The menstrual blood of the Devi and her cloth, the red color cloth, is given out as prasad. But then again, why are these restrictions there around Gayatri mantra? Of course, you answered it to a certain extent. And as I said before, a few minutes ago, the objective behind all of these processes, be it bhakti yoga, karma yoga, whatever practice that you do, or fasting, whatever you do, is to build that energy within. By energy, what do I mean? It is it is what signals life within you, right? If you touch certain parts of the body, you know it is warm. If it's cold, you are dead. So that life energy that throbs, which animates all of us from within, that energy, you rev it up. So all of it have that energy functioning within us, otherwise we wouldn't be alive. It's known by many other names. So it's Kundalini, all sorts of technical names. But the objective behind any and all sadhana meaning an instrument. What does that instrument or what does that tool do? Sadhan. What does that do? It tweaks up your life energy. Now this energy has been used to such a, everybody is using saying energy, but I hope you understand what this energy means. Now, what does it mean when we say hiking up or tweaking up that energy? It means that you now, as a human being, one of the instruments at your disposal, one of the faculties that you're born with is that life energy, apart from your thought, your emotion, and your activity around. Now, one of those, if you rev up, everything else follows suit. Like you'll see that if you rev up that energy from within, your mind works more focused, in a more focused way. Your emotions are much more tangible and much more in your control, and you can do much more activity. You can start with any of these and do that. But when you do this tapas, where you directly work on that, then they say, and the objective of all of these revving up is to go against gravity. Right? Gravity is working in a certain direction. You want to go against it, because the trees are doing that, and if any growth from horizontal to vertical, spine became vertical so that it can facilitate that movement faster. Like this, energy can't move up. Like if it becomes like this, brain can get that energy quicker. So the entire process of evolution is in that direction to facilitate that upward movement. Now, during menstrual times, for women who are in that age, in that menstrual age, every month that during that cycle, does the energy really flow downwards? I don't know. I don't have it experientially. Somebody who has it, people like Joseph, must tell us. But if it is going in that direction, then you push it in opposite direction. It's better you know how to push it, or you take certain precautions so that there are no conflicting forces within the body. Again, I could have been more clear about this and given you a precise answer if I knew it for myself. I don't. Somebody who has the same clarity as me, this question is definitely better posed to a female answerer. No, right? So whatever comes from me is only from my thought process. Whatever they might tell you from their own experience of how they know that within themselves as reality. But in my understanding of it, not my experience, but my understanding of this, what you initially had as answer is definitely something that my mind can agree upon. Now, will that become a restriction for you? That's up to you to decide. But manasika japa, none of the other things like bhakti or your activity or your mind, they do not have this kind of an impact. But even then, there are prescriptions as to you keep yourself pleasant. You don't do stressful, intense work. You take rest during those 3 days, and you don't exert yourself. Right? That is the whole idea behind having separate quarters. One aspect of it was, of course, hygiene during those times. But the more important, more sensitive aspect of approaching it was give the women some rest and don't let them exert themselves when they're already going through a certain level of physical demand. It's a taxing process. You're losing blood every month. So it's a taxing process. Why tax them further? That makes logical sense to me. Now, you still want to do it, it's better you get that answer from a guru, and definitely read Joseph Ji's book, and look up Amritanandanada's Devipuram. He named the whole place Devipuram. I've been to the place. I did not. This was much before I was a content creator. Otherwise, I would have created content there. Maybe if in the future I go there, I'll present it to the public at large. But they do have a YouTube channel. They have wonderful feminine-based practices going on. So yeah, did that answer your question?
It's somewhere near Anakapalli, right?
Yes, ma'am. Anakapalli. Yeah. What's your mother tongue?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
What's
Thank you.
your mother tongue?
I'll definitely go ahead with this reading Sino Joseph's book.
Yes, please. Geeta ji, what's your mother tongue?
Telugu.
Telugu Miru. Okay. Where do you live?
I belong to Andhra.
Andhra only. Where exactly do you live?
Telugu.
Sare, ఎక్కడ ఉంటారు? Okay, she connect. We lost her, but maybe she'll join back. Maybe data is over or something. Anybody else? Okay, 9:30 it is. Yes, please. Oh, Samarth. Is that the same Samarth from Vak-Shuddhi? Geeta ji has disconnected. But Samarth, join in, man. I don't know if it's the same Samarth. Who's this? I can hear you, but there is a lot of noise and I can't see your video. Technical issues, Geeta ji, no problem. But where are you from exactly? Where do you live? You can type it in chat. Speak on Hiranyagarbha mantra benefits. I'm not sure of Hiranyagarbha mantra. I don't want to get into it, but I'm sure you have Googled it enough. You live in Lucknow, is it? Okay. Check out Devipuram, Geeta.
Sir, can you hear me?
Where are you? Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you. Go ahead.
This is Sandeep, Samarth's father. Yes, the same Samarth.
Same Samarth. How is Siddharth and Samarth?
They're doing fine, sir. Thank you.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram, Sandeep.
So, I had a quick question on the content that you create. The way the shlokas are displayed, and there's a line going under word by word that helps the right speed at which you need to chant. That's pretty useful, and I was thinking I can use that for teaching shlokas to my kids.
Absolutely.
So, is there?
I had a copyright on it. Even if I do, I'll not do such things. You can go ahead and use it. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. So how you do it is you create a PNG file. You understand what a PNG file is?
Yes.
So you create a line in Photoshop or whatever image processing software. You make a white line. And then you used Adobe Premiere Pro?
I haven't, but I'll look it up.
Yeah, you look at YouTube videos are there. So the process is setting keyframes. You import that image and you sync that white underline with the audio. Maybe you can watch a replay of it. I can't teach it right now to you, of course, but these are the steps involved. Create the white underline PNG, sync it with the audio recording, then set keyframes at the beginning and the end. 3-step process. You can note it down and then try it. And all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can definitely use it. You can call me Uday Sandeep ji.
Okay. Thank you, Uday ji.
Namaskaram. Oh, Sandeep ji, before you go, are you gone?
I'm still here.
You're still here? I miss Siddharth and Samarth. How are they? How are their studies going on?
Going on good. Good. Lot of COVID cases here, so still trying that situation between online.
Both all of you guys are safe and healthy?
Yes. We're doing well. Thank you. Yeah. So.
All right. Teach them more. I haven't come. Oh, I did. Balamukunda Stotram probably. Have you taught them?
They have seen it. I haven't had time to teach them yet, but so I will build whatever you suggested. I'm going to build a few using that. And
bring them on for one of these sessions. So if they are able to chant something for us,
I will bring them for the next live session.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Yes, Kaido is asking, have I seen Punyakoti on Netflix? I have seen Punyakoti on Netflix. Guys, it was not very captivating, was it? It's sad when people put so much effort and it does not reach as many people. I don't know what's the problem with these Sanskrit movie makers. We need to do better for sure. Punyakoti was the music was by Ilayaraja. There were such big wigs. I think Mohanlal and everybody else had also had their parts to play, and some really big names. But the movie somehow, I'm a Sanskrit speaker, it did not captivate me throughout. What is the point of a movie if it does not grab the attention of the audiences? Anyways, sorry to be too blunt for the makers of Punya Koti, but we definitely, I'm blunt on people who are dearest to me. So we need to do better, guys. Sanskrit teachers, anybody watching this, we really need to pull up our socks if we wear socks. Anyways, questions? Pavan Shukla ji asks, I'm very keen in learning Sri Vidya. Once the lockdown is over, go to Devipuram. Anybody else who wants to come up on screen? We'll extend this for some more time. There are so many people watching us live. Namaskaram to everybody on YouTube. So patiently watching on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Like this questions like this, I'll not take. If you have really important questions or something that means something to you to be asked, you can come. You can come on Crowdcast and ask questions. No casual questions, random, that I'll do on Instagram, that I'm doing on Instagram anyways. Something that you want to come on screen. Anybody who wants to come on screen and ask a question or debate can ask. Don't do it in chat. Tell me you want to come online and I'll invite you online. Invite you live, I mean video. Nobody? Yes. Oh, Sushma ji, yes, you can. Thank you for maintaining gender ratio, equality. Subramanian ji, after Sushma ji, you can go. Perfect. And then Diksha ji. Aha, perfect. Things are working out by themselves. One male-female alternate. Perfect. Sushma ji, then Subramanian ji, and then Diksha ji. Perfect. Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
First of all, happy Teachers' Day.
Thank you. Hey, nobody wished. See, so many people are asking questions. Nobody wished. Thank you so much, Sushma.
I want to mention some things I have learned from your YouTube channel.
Okay.
First goes the Nirvana Shatakam.
Okay.
And
you're making me, your plan is to make me blush now. Thank you so much for learning all of them.
Patanjali Yoga Sutras and a line from the Ramaraksha Stotram, Atta Sajja Dhanusha.
Yeah. You want to chant it once for us?
I think I have to see.
Let me say it first, you repeat after me.
Yes.
Atta Sajja Dhanusha Sorry. Atasajja dhanusha vishusprisha vakshaya shuganishanga sangina. Too long? Should I break it down?
No.
You have text in front of you?
Yes, I have.
Perfect. One more time. Atasajja dhanusha vishusprisha vakshaya shuganishanga sangina.
Atta Sajja Dhanusha vishusprisha vakshaya shuganishanga sanginam.
Rakshanaya mama Rama Lakshmana Vagratah Pati Sadaiva Gacchati. If you don't sing it in tune, what's the... Okay, still go for it. Same problem my mom has. They don't like... They can't sing. Okay, fine.
I was habituated this way.
Okay, no problem. Complete the second line. Rakshanaya
mama Rama Lakshmana Vagratah Pati Sadaiva Gacchatam.
Perfect. You want to tell us the meaning of it also?
You told
See, this
it.
is why people don't teach me Happy Teachers Day. Live at least. Messages. Thank you so much, guys. Now people are saying Happy Teachers Day. Thanks. Anyways, yes. Sushma, you had more to learn? Tell. What else you learned?
Yeah, I just want to thank the YouTube channel. I mean, I've learned a lot from your channel.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm glad.
Thank you for starting the Bhagavad Gita and...
we finished it.
I finished it, but I was watching now.
Okay, cool.
I've started watching it a few days back.
Perfect.
And
we have something exciting coming up in the future. I'm sure you'll like it.
Yes, I'm liking everything. From Bhagavad Gita to now Panchatantra.
Panchatantra we might discontinue. It's not working out so well.
Okay. I want to ask about some deep spiritual experiences. Okay. I think you must have gone through all some kriyas. and you were into spirituality and yoga. So I want to know some of your experiences and how your life has changed.
That much only question.
By starting.
Or you are you know about Isha Foundation or something?
Yes, I follow them.
Oh, you do? Okay. Have you done any of the programs they offer?
I've done the inner engineering
online,
but I didn't do the Shambhavik
Mahamudra. You have not done yet. Yes. Where do you live?
Karimnagar.
Oh, Telugu anta ee roju mottam Telugu pandaga. Okay. So the story began almost 10 years ago when I was working for Google Hyderabad after my engineering, my not inner engineering, outer engineering from electronics and communication from BITS. Oh, the mottam katha mottam research chestunnaru. So I was working for corporate almost 10 years ago, and that was all I was aiming for. Chaduvukunnappadanta, I don't know what you do. Are you in college or something?
Yeah, I've completed my engineering.
You also completed external engineering? Okay.
Mechanical.
Okay. From which year?
2021 passed out.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice. Just recently.
Yes.
2021 ide kada. This year. Okay. So why did both of us do engineering? Because all of our friends are doing engineering, not because
by
engineering
default.
means by default, default setting. And the aim was to get placed into a well-paying job, which I did, which was the best paying company of my year. But once I got into it, initially I was super happy, like monthly salary was getting super happy. But then slowly life got into such a mess that I did not really enjoy what I was doing for almost half of my life, 9 to 5 and beyond. The work did not really end at 5. It never does. No work that you ever do will end from 9 to 5, irrespective of what field you are in. If you are in construction or any, I don't know how it works for them. I'm guessing even there, everybody, there's really no such thing as, oh, you do this compartment that you do only this for this much time and then the rest of it you have to live. It is your life that is happening throughout. And I did not like very deep within me that half of my life I'm spending towards stuff that I don't like. I really I don't relish. There might be people who relish it. I did not. So then, cutting short the entire story so that we save on time and not let me go on this ramble, I sought answers first in different kinds of intoxicants, and then they took me through a whirl of their own, and then which was initially, again, everything that gives you this pleasure, right? Things that you think will give you this will satisfy you or will give you a new lease of life and are something that satisfy you. You'll see whatever it is materially, you'll see that after some time you seek more, or after some time you see that, you know, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says it beautifully that pariname vishamiva. So after some time, something that felt like nectar, that like amrita, starts to feel like poison. And once that also started, I was like full frustration with life. That is when Isha, I was looking for, was not exactly looking for spiritual programs as such. I was learning Sanskrit as a background. It's not like Sanskrit shifted my whole perspective of life. I was still learning Sanskrit back then also. But it is then that I stumbled across Yoga Sutras, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and when I wanted to learn the meanings of them, I really could not by myself, and I looked for different kinds of interpretations. Then Isha started, and then I did inner engineering in 2014 or 15. 2015 I did inner engineering, and since then, since the day of initiation to Shambhavi Mahamudra, and then every 6 months, next program, like that. Every 3 to 4 months, next program. And then within 1.5 years, I quit my job and I thought, okay, I have to go stay in the ashram. I went there, I stayed in the ashram for almost 3 years, 3.5, did the volunteering there. And I did go through go through the sadhana that it has to offer, and the sadhana will definitely give you siddhi. What kind of siddhi is it? How did I did I see colors? Did I taste tastes? Did I hear sounds? That I don't want to go into too much. I did the sadhanas were extremely rewarding for me. That's as much as I would like to say. My life took a 360-degree turn. It's it's not a 180-degree turn. It's a 360-degree turn. I came back to doing work. In fact, more work than I used to do before. I, of course, am rewarded monetarily, emotionally, in every single way imaginable as life within, in multiples. In many multiples, I'm rewarded, and it's been good. Life has taken a 360-degree turn for the better after spirituality entered my life.
Okay.
Not satisfied enough. You want me to talk
I was
about the
asking
sounds,
that.
tastes, and smells and touches?
No. Deep spiritual experiences and how your life has taken turn.
See, deep spiritual experience. See, this is it. It's all once you. It's, how do I put it? It's hard to put it in words. That is the entire point of it. It's something indescribable. Once you know it, you know it. It's like this. I can tell you that it is tingly. It causes you what is this? Making me blush multiple times in a day, in one session. See, if I tell you that it is very, very loud, or it is very, very bright, or it's very, very fragrant, maybe you have some semblance of it, that you can at least, okay, I know the smell of jasmine, maybe it's 100 times that. But something that is not in somebody's experience, that's something that cannot be talked about in words, how do you describe it? That is the trouble.
Okay.
You get it?
Got it.
That is why we need gurus in the world. So it's okay, let me put it this way. Whatever you have experienced as pleasantness, you have experienced all sorts of pleasantness in life so far. You've experienced pleasant moonlight. Have you ever? Hopefully,
Yes.
you have. Thank you. Some full moon night somewhere out in a pleasant beach or someplace. Full moon nights on beaches can be extremely pleasant, right? Now, all sorts of pleasantnesses, maybe some tasty food that you have eaten, something very, very delicious. Take all the pleasantnesses that you have experienced so far. Now, if I tell you that there is a different kind of pleasantness which is in your capability to experience, now that is within you to unlock. Now, how do I express it in words? I can't. So it's another like you have 4 limbs. This is a 5th limb. This is which is unexplored. So once that comes into your capability, then you have access to many different you understand. It's not even understand. See, words fail to express it. So you will grow a third eye. Best that is you'll grow a horn, you'll grow a third eye, you'll grow whatever nonsense. But yes, you'll experience another faculty within yourself that you're capable of, which you have not been using so far. See, how wonderful would it be if you could now have 10 hands instead of 2, which pop up. Not always, all the time. You don't have to walk through doors with the 10 hands, but whenever you want to do some activity, instead of 2, you have 10. Amazing, no? Now, like that, you have one more faculty. Okay. Okay, cool. Do your sadhana. Oh, you do not do much sadhana yet. But give
I've
yourself.
started it, but
Yeah, give yourself that sadhana. And that is the beauty of it. It's not just that Isha Foundation does this, provides this access to that extra faculty, or Art of Living does, or or some other institution does. All of them are aiming towards the same thing. Their processes differ, that's it.
How did it change in terms of your productivity at work?
Day and night. Day and night. The thing is, before I used to just do something without investing myself into it, right? If I want to code for some project, I have a set of tasks to do and I do it, and I don't think about, oh, how beautifully can I do it, or oh, how, if there is a small if there is an obstacle somewhere, I'll look for shortcuts. Can I offload it of somebody on somebody else? Can I find a shortcut around it? Now my life is invested in it, in the work that I do. I love doing what I do. So I do literally, I might be doing 30 to 40 times the work that I used to do before. But the satisfaction is as much more because it matters to me. Of course, this is still there's more levels to progress beyond this in terms of approaching activity. But at the stage I am in, the way I approach life itself in general is much, much, much more pleasant. If there are unpleasant situations that come up in life, Sadhguru has trapped me in such a way that I know that unpleasantness within me is my doing. I don't have a way out now. Right? I don't have a choice anymore to blame it on anybody else. It's not because of that person or that person.
Karma.
Yeah, it's not because of that person, this situation. It's not because there is a power cut. It's not because there is, water is not coming. I created, if I'm in a terrible situation, it's me. Now fully trapped from all directions. So it's it's this choiceless existence, no choice, because there is none. It's you doing things to yourself. So once you know that, it sinks in so deep that you can't escape. You still seem, it's so uncanny that you still look for something outside to blame things on. And that is the first thing that the mind goes to. Then you suddenly realize, oh, okay, sorry, it's me only. And then you can shift it. And once you have that capability within yourself, it's enormously empowering. It is not that some choice has been removed from you. It's that you now are empowered in a different way to handle life, whatever it throws at you. Cool? Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good.
Namaskar.
All right. Last 7 minutes. When did we start? 8 o'clock. Whoa, 2 hours we are doing almost. Now people are talking about feelings on the heads and the toes and the tips of the hairs. I'll not go into those things, guys. Skydo is asking, will you ever do a podcast with Rajiv Malhotra? Yeah, Rajiv ji, yeah, why not? Yeah. But Sanskrit, I don't know what, he's doing some Sanskrit non-translatables. I addressed this in one of the live streams on Vaishak Sabhu's channel. Somebody asked me if I knew about the Sanskrit non-translatables project. My take on it is Sanskrit is not translatable. I explained it there. Maybe you can go check it out there. Even simple words like I and you, they cannot be translated into any other language, let alone English. So about this Sanskrit non-translatables, it's great that they're identifying a set of words which have a lot of loaded meaning, which have a lot of context, which goes missing if they are blatantly mistranslated. But that happens with every single word of Sanskrit, from aham and tvam and tat. Everything is not translatable. You can't translate it. That is why if people like Vijay come up with that final result that can be thrust into people's faces, that now guys see, stamp of approval from modern science, then people find closure. But until then, this kind of circus has to go on, where we just try to express something which has been said in Sanskrit in 100 words in English. Krishna Nayarji, you can search for Vaisak Sabu's channel and he'll be able to find it. I go live on Vaisak's channel. He's not coming live on mine. What's going on? But Niteshji, thank you so much for the 400 rupees. Thank you for the super chat. Are there strings attached? Love your videos. Sanskrit calls out to me just because of you. Would love to have you as my guru. Oh, thank you so much, Nitesh Katiyarji. But there are better gurus than me to be your gurus. I can teach you Sanskrit if you wish to. Definitely, and I'm teaching you Sanskrit. You can learn Sanskrit from me. For guru, you search for other people. I'm not capable, neither capable nor willing to become a guru in anybody's life. Shashidhar. Shashidharji asks, can Upanishad be sung without the restrictions of Udatta, Anudatta and Svarita sounds, or do these restrictions also apply for their recitation? Shashidharji, even Vedas can be studied without Udatta, Anudatta and Svarita sounds. When Veda gurus explain the meanings, if they do at all ever, they do it without Udatta, Anudatta and Svarita sounds. Udatta, Anudatta, Svarita just means these three Swarasthanas or pitch levels, blatant mistranslation again. 3 levels of frequencies that you shift between when you chant something. Different shakhas, hundreds of different branches of Veda recitations, chant them differently. So it's not that there is only one particular system of chanting which is correct. But if you learn it from one Veda parampara, it's best to stick to their process, their way of chanting it. For example, Kerala schools, when there is a halant, instead of they say il. And in Kashmir traditions, instead of sh, they say kha. Anyways, all these nuances aside, whichever tradition you follow their methodology. But the meanings of it, exploring the meanings, you can definitely read them, understand them, and study them without the need for these 3 sounds. But if you want to chant them, it's extremely important that you stick to those Swarasthanas. Hey, yeah, more people ask me for questions. I'm getting a little tired and I am trying to skip. Who was the last? Sushma was last. After Sushma, there were a couple of people who wanted. We had, yes, that book by Sinu Joseph is called as Ritu Vidya. Thank you, Niharika. Why code in Sanskrit? Okay, you texted so much, guys, in chat. Now I lost who were in line. Subramanianji, yes. Subramanianji, I'm sending you an invite. You can come on screen. Do you wake up whole night? We had this Sanskrit creator camp, and we went until like 12:30 or something into the night. Started at around 8 or 8:30. So it's okay, I guess. If there's a bundle of people, if there are people sitting in front and there's bonfire, it would be even better. But this is virtual, so what to do? I'm staring at artificial lights from a monitor. Kian is asking what was the channel. You said it's Vaisak Sabu. He's a Isha volunteer. You can go check his channel out and tell him that you're coming from the Sanskrit channel. I go to his live streams. He's not coming here.
Namaste Mahadaya. Acharya Dina Shubha Kamnaya.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Subramanian. Namaskar.
I have a couple of questions. I know it's an open-ended question. I need to
yes. Yeah. Everything open. Yeah. Everything goes.
So, Jishri Bhagini has just asked, right? So the vitals of people changes by uttering the mantras and japas, and also. So
this is about the menstrual cycles questions.
The vitals, the human vitals, based on the research, the human vitals changes.
Vijay, oh, you're talking about the Vishnu Sahasranama and the mantras.
Right, Vishnu mantras, right?
Okay.
So if I see the meaning of Rudram, Vedam, any mantras as such, right? Everything is all about like I praise for the God, or I need this, I need that, you need that, right? So the moment before realizing the meaning, if I utter mantra, japa, I enjoyed it. But after realizing the meaning, it's just like you're asking for something, the worldly activities like you are the God. Anyway, is praising or he's just asking something.
Hey, but that's what I'm doing. I'm explaining meanings of things to people. Is it taking away the bliss in chant?
Sure.
It is.
I didn't mean that way.
Then I'm causing more harm than good. No,
Not really. But the question here is, if that's the case, if that's the meaning, right? It's just asking it, right? I can ask it in Tamil, I can ask it in any other languages, or I can ask it mentally, right? What's the uniqueness or what's the significance of asking in Sanskrit? If it's the verb, if it's the sound that causes uniqueness,
you're also giving the answer also. What will I tell then? Tell.
If it's the sound that's uniqueness,
yes.
The Kanchasti Kavasam in Tamil is the Kanchasti Kavasam in Tamil as a vibrance of the sounds and everything, right? So what makes it unique about the mantra? Why it should be used in Sanskrit?
Cool. So Tamil, do you know? I think you know. My mother tongue is Tamil. You know? Okay. So there is definitely an element of emotional attachment, and as I said before, you can call it faith and belief in something, and you strengthen it. All sorts of people, new age philosophies have come about that you strongly believe something, that you will get help from something, and no longer be in that bogged down mental state that I'm hopeless, but you always see hope coming to you. Visualize that hope coming to you, and it will come to you. They call it manifestation, they call it law of attraction, all sorts of names. And in simple terms, it's just bhakti. Instead of calling it pranayama, it's like calling it cardiac coherent breathing. Same bhakti thing, you just pray, and with what? Not just the sounds, but with that belief, with that faith that your prayers will be answered. And as I said, universe has this way of providing when you create that intense pressure deficits at different places. Of course, things will flow towards you or away from you, however you want to look at it. So there is that intensity of emotion with which you do something that works irrespective of if you're doing the prayer as thought with no sounds, no nothing, just thought, or if you're using a language like Tamil or like any language like English or German or French or any Swahili. You use words to give your thoughts structure, and you ask, you seek, and still with the same faith that your prayers will be answered. There is that, if that longing is intense enough, it will happen. And then comes the level of sound. Now, as I keep repeating in Vak-Shuddhi classes and everywhere, the sounds have that potency to affect human physiology and affect. We are all creatures of. Okay, let me not approach it like that, but sound is as physical as we are. So it's not like we are using something esoteric, something very intangible. We are using a tangible instrument. Sound is as tangible. That is why we say, I started with Vak-Shuddhi, and that is why people say you should not use words randomly and willy-nilly and not just curse and use nonsense words. When you speak with a certain consciousness behind it, that you use it as another instrument within you. So you use that sound to impact another sound, impact us physiologically. Now, does only Sanskrit have the potency to do it? No. Arabic, what do you think namaz is? They're doing all that namaz. Do you think it's because of some? I'm not picking on you, but the reason they do, that kind of intonations, and they chant it in a particular way, and they have their own. See, whichever processes, be it of worship, you see that there are words and their meanings, but there are also the way those words are uttered, the sounds that are utilized in those particular things, which then form mantras. Now, of course, if you say Velanaka Harovara, it is, of course, that Velan, that even the sounds there are particular to that deity, that physical form, and they have they impact human physiology. Now, to substantiate this claim, which right now is only at a level of a statement, a hypothesis from me. There is, how do I prove this? Unless it is true in somebody's experience, how do I tell you that Velanaka Harohara has an impact on you? People like Udayshreyas have to come up and do that research, get a fast Fourier transform, do some digital signal processing, and do that across people from all religions, so that that level of faith and placebo effect and all of them are taken away, so that this impact of sound can be physically proven as truth, as fact. But we all know it as truth. Anybody who has done a small Ramanama Japam and sought passing marks, or any simple things, all of us definitely have experienced some or the other, for a lack of a better word, divine providence.
So on the same line, sorry, one final question. In the pranayama, right? So pranayama, you just inhale for 30 seconds and exhale on the other nostril for 30 seconds. Does it improve it, or the mantra of like Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Swaha, and I meditate on the which one is, or combination of both?
Sorry, which one is what?
The pranayama, when you inhale, exhale for 30 seconds, that's improving the body or whatever the health, or the sound that I utter when I do it in the pranayama, in the Sandhya Mantra, you do Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Swaha, and you meditate. You asked to do that same mantra when you do that pranayama. It's a combination of, you have to synchronize it, right? Which one is helping here? Is it the mantra helping here?
Both of them. Why is there a question as to one or the other? If only one of them is useful, the other is not, what is the need of the other, right? So what is happening with prana ayama is you make the breath subtle. This breath we understand so little in this modern sciences settle. So did you notice ever that how you breathe has a profound correlation with how your state of mind is? Have you noticed this? If somebody is sad or somebody is feeling low, exhalations are more prominent. You know this, you do, people know it is somebody is feeling low, the mental state is something lesser. If you are in a joyful state, you naturally inhalations are more profound, right? This is such a simple thing. So breath, which is again has technical terms, I don't want to go into technical terms, but breath and the state of mind are connected. What you're trying to do by pranayama is impact your state of mind by the way you breathe. Now, do you use your right nostril? Do you use your left nostril? What are you exactly doing? Depends on the process. Do you want to be more receptive? Do you want to be more energetic and active? Again, there is Ida, Pingala, all that, Sushumna, and all that going on. But the objective of it is to bring that breath into your control. This is to become absolute masters over all the faculties that we have. We want to even take our own genes into our hands, genetic composition into our hands. I have not gone that far, but the idea of Pitru Tarpanas when they are still alive, or when sannyasis and brahmacharis take it up, is that you distance yourself from your own genetic past, and we all know that we have certain capabilities we have come with as human beings. Now the greediest, I don't want to use an expletives are coming, the greediest, whatever words you want to use, people on the planet are the people on the yogic path. Every single thing there is and there is not to take charge of in this world, in this creation, they want to live here as gods. Forget guru, people want to live as gods. So that is the objective behind all of this. All right, that was a very nice note to end the session on. Yeah, so our aspiration is not for some higher stature of human experience. It is to live here as God, not seeking God, not reaching God. Or there are traditions, of course, they might disagree, but even being in servitude to God is one way of becoming God himself. It's hard to realize that in logical terms, but we want to experience that godliness, that divinity, to put it in more polished terms. We want to experience the divinity within our own selves, which is a nice polished way of saying I want to be God. I want to know that I'm God. Anyways, all right, let's end the session there. Thank you so much, everybody. And we did not lose much interest throughout the session, which is fascinating. Now I said thank you, everybody. People are leaving. Okay. Namaskaram. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, follow us on Instagram. Follow the Sanskrit channel on Instagram if you have not already. And we'll go live next weekend or something on Instagram. We'll alternate between YouTube and Instagram. We need to reach 10,000 followers on Instagram. We have not done that yet. So thank you so much. And for all the teachers, anybody out there, happy Teachers Day to you as well. We need more teachers for whom teaching means something in their life. It's not just another means of livelihood, but a compulsion within themselves to share something that has been of such importance in their life. They want to rub it off on people. It's an itch that people have. If you just sit quietly about it and do nothing, you just can't sit still. So for all the teachers who are as mad or madder than me, a very happy Teachers Day to all of you. And thank you to all the students for allowing us to be teachers and learning from us. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. Shubharatri, everybody. Namaskaram.